what you're doing is you're setting ground rules from the very get-go of the relationship that says, listen, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you get the best value, but I got to ask some questions to make sure I do that. And this isn't about rate anyway, right? I mean, has anybody looked at the rates recently? I mean, like, who cares, okay? And so, I mean, we've known from the research for a long time, and so there's so many people who work in banks that are very delusional about the fact that the research is very clear about this. People don't really care that much about the rates. They really don't care. But would you pay more for something of more value? Absolutely. They just want you to make it clear why there's more value. And that's the part that we're missing. So what you're doing when you start this conversation is you say, we're going to follow my process, and I'm going to be a credible authority who will help you, as opposed to just, I mean, imagine going to your doctor and saying, you know, Doc, I have my elbow goes, and your doctor says, no problem, we have a special on antibiotics today, here you go. That's what we're doing when we spew out the rates. It's horrible. We don't look like professionals. You know, same thing with having rate boards posted by your front door and up on the internet. Why would you do that? You're teaching them to only buy for you if you give away your profits. How long can you sustain business that way? So, you know, so why are these things posted all over the place? It's not about the rate. They don't care about the rate. They want somebody who's going to create some value. You better be talking to people. So when you start with a powerful question like, are you looking for the best rate on this CD, or are you looking for the best value? Because they're usually not the same. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions to make sure we get you the best overall value? And the best overall value may be, hey, we're going to have sweeps going from your checking to the CD to add to it. We may have, you know, all kinds of additional things we do that creates the best overall value. It doesn't mean you're ever having to come up with the best rate. You're just creating the best overall value because you're adding your expertise to the equation. Make sense? Can you do this?
Yes.
Will you do this?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, good. Okay, so do you have this one down on the CDs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody can do this? Okay, because there might be a little test later on. So we got to make sure you got this one in your bones, okay? Because the CD inquiry one is absolutely important. Can we go into the eye of the needle on CD right here while having the room right now?
Yeah.
No, you don't want this badly enough. I don't know. It's just do you want this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show you how to go get a lot of CDs really, really, really fast. All you need to do is when people sit down with you then, after you've done this break preoccupation with rate question, you sit down with them and you do the little pyramid or the triangle. And in a previous lifetime, back between banking gigs, I was a financial analyst with E.F. Hutton back in those days, and I was also in charge of their financial planning area. And so I'm going to show you the fastest, easiest, coolest financial planning technology you need to know, and you don't have to have a certified financial planning designation in order to do this, okay? All you do is you say, hey, financial planners say that your financials should be kind of like a triangle, and so in the bottom of your triangle is your really safe money that doesn't go up and down in value. So those are like your CDs and your money markets and things like this. Up here you have your stocks and your bonds. You know what happens there. Over time, they tend to get better returns, but a lot of people lose money because they buy high and sell low because they don't know how to deal with the emotion of it. And so a lot of people aren't ready to go here, and they go there anyway. And so what we do is we make sure that you take care of this kind of stuff and get a good foundation first, so you're not freaking out about these pieces by doing things out of your emotion. And up here's the crazy stuff, you know, like commodities and different things that really move around. Most people don't go up there ever in a lifetime, but some people can. But let's talk about this part. Within this part, you should have about 3 to 6 months. Now, this is the old, during this recession, they're now saying 9 months, incidentally. But the old standard financial planning language has been always have 3 to 6 months of money available in case something goes wrong. You get sick, you lose your job, you want to have some ability to move through. Now, the most recent research shows that 70% of the population are living paycheck to paycheck. They're like one paycheck away from bankruptcy. Okay, so what we're doing is, first of all, we're going to encourage that you set up sweep accounts to automatically sweep money into this liquid account that you can pull money out of in the event of an emergency. After that, you want to have a financial freedom account. This is the money that you never touch. This is the money that's for you. Nobody else gets this. You don't take the interest out of it. You don't take the principal. This is your commitment to your future that goes into the financial freedom account. We recommend that you're sweeping money out of your checking account on a regular basis to make that happen. And then you want to have a whole bunch of long-term savings accounts that are designated. So maybe you're having one for a house, a second home, maybe you have another one for a car, or maybe it's your kid's education. But the key is set up separate accounts and have different names for them so that you know that you're always sweeping, so that your money should go from checking and sweep into these areas to make sure that things get taken care of. And that way you have a forced savings account. It's much more likely for you to hit your financial goals by doing this. Is this of interest to you? What are they going to say? Yeah, that'd be cool. Or they're going to say, well, I don't have any extra money. And you say, great. It's much more about forming the habit. Do you ever drink like Pepsi or cappuccino? What are they going to say? Yes. Yeah, I've had one or two. Great. What if you just like stopped doing that and took the $5 a week that you would have spent on that, or $5 a day, and just start doing something just to get in the habit of doing this, and so that therefore once you get that habit going, you can start increasing the amounts. And if you were to do that, where would you sweep first? Would you just set it into this account just to create a safety net first? Is that where you want to start? And do you want a little bit going there too? Just let us know. Are you doing a huge service to people by showing them this? Okay, now here's what's really cool. After you go through this, then you say, now help me understand about your other investments right now. So how much do you currently keep like in a money market account? And tell me about your CDs. And then you should have a form in front of you. There's an example of it up in the private pass. And it looks kind of like this. It's got the triangle. It's got these things. And so you say to them, tell me about your CDs that you have other places. And then when you're asking them, you have your head down and your pen ready to go. And so that says, hey, I'm going to get this information. And so they're going to say, well, I got $20,000 over at ABC Bank at 1.6 rate, and it comes due October of '09, and I've got a $50,000 over at XYZ, and that's at 2.4, and that comes available November of 10, and blah, 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 blah. And so you get all this information. Anything else I should know about? And you said, great. Here's what I'm going to recommend that we do. When these CDs come due, I have a form you can sign while you're here today. And we'll send it to these other banks. And so when these CDs come due, what's going to happen is the money will automatically just get transferred here. When that money gets transferred, we're going to give you a call. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these CDs, and we're going to figure out how do you want to designate them into these different categories so they come due at different times. We're also going to work with you on laddering them so that they can get, so you have them coming due at different times, and so you always have some liquidity and money coming available that you can get the best overall return. So we'll always, every time one comes due, take a look at this and see where you're at now and help you make an assessment to go into that area. Would that be helpful to you? What are they going to say? Oh my God, somebody died, named you God, you're going to help me like this? This is great, okay? They're going to be thrilled that somebody's actually taking this burden off of them to really help them. So it's a wonderful, wonderful way for you to be of great service. Now for those of you who go, they will never answer these questions. Let me assure you, back when I was in banking, everyone I ever sat down with to do this, everyone gave me all the information. Everyone. So don't tell me it can't be done. I can just tell you that I had 100% experience. If you come with authenticity of I'm here to help you, they're gonna give you this information because they need to be helped. Okay? And so we have had bank after bank after bank that picks up a lot of deposits doing this little situation as well. And the great thing is it doesn't all have to go into CDs from now on. You can start putting it into more core deposits and do sweeping things, and you can really show them how to manage their finances. Is this cool or is this cool? Cool. This is really cool. Okay? So back when we were starting a bank, we used to have the CEOs of the other banks in the area. They would walk through our lobby about once every quarter. They were trying to figure out if we were doing something illegal or immoral, that we were just stealing their deposits away from them. It was so much fun. And so if we can do this, you can do this. And so the form, where's our compliance officer? Where'd she go? There you are, okay. So every state has a different form. We have an example in some of the handouts up in the private pass, but don't use that one. You have to go with your compliance officer, find out what the form is. It looks like the IRA transfer. Make sense? Yes? Yeah. Okay, got any questions?